right into it. We've got two cards to talk about, and the reason why I picked these two cards is because they're functionally the same card. We're going to be talking about Cultivate, Kodama's Reach. Now, both these cards are 3-mana sorceries, 2-mana green. For search your library for basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Also, you put a basic land into your hand. Now, let's get into the floor versus ceiling of these cards. The floor of these cards being basically, at their worst, they're just ramp spells. They're going to grab you a land on the battlefield and make sure you hit your next land drop. That's at the worst. So it's going to jump you basically from turn 4 to turn 5, because if you play it on turn 3, you're going to untap on turn 4 with 4 lands, and you'll have the next land to play to bring you up to 5 mana. Now that's only saying if you're playing land, then Cultivate or Kodama's Reach. That's only saying that's the only thing you've done from the first 3 turns of the game. Now, the ceiling of these cards are basically, they're pretty good at mana fixing. So if you're in 2 to 3 color decks, if not more, you're able to get the other colors you need for that deck. So if you're in a 2-color deck, you're normally going to grab like your primary colors, so the colors that your deck is mainly about. If you're in green, it's usually you're mostly going to be grabbing green, and then you grab your secondary color just to make sure you have that color for the next turn so you can cast your spells. Same thing goes for 3 and up decks. You know, you're just going to grab additional colors to make sure you're able to cast your spells. So that's basically the ceiling. That's as best as they're honestly going to get, is they're just going to help you mana fix. Now, when it comes to whether I think these cards are a bust or not, I do think they're a bust. I don't think they're good enough for our format anymore. They're too slow. 3 mana is too high of a cost now to spend on ramping. Most ramp spells you want to be casting on turn 1 or turn 2. Turn 1 being, you know, best, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, you know, if you have the budget for those, of course. And then turn 2, you know, you want to play your Farseeks, your Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, which was reprinted in Commander Legends, even Rampant Growth. So I do think that they're outclassed by just better ramp in the earlier turns of turn 2. Farseek, grabbing you any island, mountain, plains, or swamp. So non-basic lands, as long as they have that card type, you can grab it. And Nature's Lore and 3 Visits, going to grab you any forest card. Again, no stipulation to whether it is a basic land or not. So you can grab your dual lands, your triomes, your shock lands, stuff like that, which is super good for mana fixing. And then if you're going to do a 3-mana ramp spell, you know, there's Harrow. Harrow is 2 and a green for an instant that has additional costs. You sacrifice a land, but you get to grab 2 basic lands from your library, put them on the battlefield, and they're untapped. So you can do something with that mana, like play, I don't know, a Growth Spiral. And then for like you have Creature Acceleration, which is super good because green likes its creatures. Your Creature Acceleration is going to be cards like, you know, Wood Elves, Spring Bloom Druid. Yeah, Spring Bloom Druid. Sorry, check my notes. Spring Bloom Druid. Wood Elves is going to grab you any forest card, put it on the battlefield, and let you, you know, untapped. So there you go. Doesn't come into play tapped. Able to make a play after. Spring Bloom Druid does have the lands come into play tapped, but it's kind of a Harrow on a body. So you sacrifice a land to grab 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield tapped. But even then, like, you have a body. You didn't just play a 3-mana spell and you're left wide open. You played a 3-mana spell that you can block with. If you're in black, you can reanimate it if it dies. If you're in blue or white, you can blink it and reuse the effect. So all in all, personally, I think Cultivate and Kodama's Reach are a bust. They're too slow for our format, and their ceiling and their floor are just not good enough for what we have available to us now. But that's just my thoughts, guys. You know, as always, Let me know down below in the comments whether you think I'm right, whether you think Cultivate and Kodama's Reach are good cards. They're good budget cards, but personally, I think with other cards are more affordable now, just play the better cards. So that's just my opinion. Again, like, comment, subscribe, guys. New videos coming out every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. As always, play more games.